Alright, so we've got some building to do, or rather some planning to do, because I've got some pretty ambitious plans, and I don't want to end up like messing it up and building all the wrong proportions, or destroying a lot more terrain than I need to clear out, and then wasting tons of time like that. So we're going to be planning this episode, really, more than building. So what I want is hold on, we have at Mystical Agriculture. You probably know about this already. That's not the button. That's what the Inferium is for. It's Mystical Agriculture, and you can make pretty much anything with Mystical Agriculture. You can grow pretty much anything. Like there are uh, Deep Slate Essence, which you can use to craft deep slate of varying kinds and proportions. There is Nature Essence, which you can use to craft Podzol and Chorus Fruit, and basically any plant or crop under the sun. There is Dye Essence, which is self-explanatory. There's Coal Essence. There you can make deep slate with it. There's Coral Essence. There is Honey Essence. Amethysts, pig, chicken, cow, sheep to get their drops like wool and meat. There's Bronze Essence, which doesn't exist because we don't have bronze seeds, I think. There's something to do with this. I think the bronze is trying to craft isn't part of the mod pack, because has built-in stuff for stuff like zinc. This has zinc in it, and I didn't make zinc in it. This has brass, and brass we do have because it's create, but we don't have bronze. We have silver. We don't have lead or graphite. This is all stuff for like some tech mod somewhere. We have quartz enriched iron, but some of the stuff we don't have, like steel and titanium and tungsten and uranium and chrome, some of the stuff we do have, some of the stuff is just, what the heck is apatite? It must be some other mod thing. Most of the stuff is vanilla. There's diamond. There's even sapphire essence, and we do have sapphires because that's from Ice and Fire. There's even netherite essence, which you can use to make pig step, and also netherite ingots. That's also kind of important. But anyway, case in point, there is tons of stuff that you can make using mystical agriculture, and we want to create a create an environment that is conducive to planting a whole heck of a lot of crops. So what I'm thinking is I want to make a big old pyramid of sorts, and I want to, or something like that. I want to have a massive crop area because there's also these things called. Let me see if I can pull them up real quick. Here we are. No, that's the good blocks. Gemstone blocks, block, prosperity. Here we are. No, those are the seed reprocessors. Where are they? Here we are. Growth pulsers. Or growth accelerators. They're called growth accelerators. They make the plant above it grow faster, and they have ranges. So you can stack up to 12 of these things, and then 24 of these things, and then 36 of these things. And that's neat, because once you stack up even just 12 of the Inferium ones, it grows super fast. So what I'm thinking is, we don't really need more than just the 12 Inferium. So what I want to do is I want to make like a pyramid that at the top is like 13 blocks high, and specifically 13 because I want 12 blocks of pulsars and then actually have the pyramid, and I don't want. Oh my god, what the heck? That's the flamingo. That's the flamingo floaty. Okay. Anyway, so I want a pretty big area is the thing, and I want to make this massive because I want to be able to grow pretty much anything I want. I don't want to have to tear down the entirety of the staircase up the pyramid in order to actually do it. So to that end, I want to figure out how many crops I want to grow and how much of each crop I do want to grow. Let me grab some blocks to sort of block this out with. Let's go with cobblestone because it's distinct. So if I want to start it like here, maybe? I think that's a decent enough distance. It's associated with my house, but it's not like directly on top of it. So what we want We finally got our shovel up to instant break. I love it. It's gonna make clearing away this dirt so easy. Let's clear all this out. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make this 3 high, so it's a clear starting point. And then we want to go 12 blocks up, and every block is going to be a staircase. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just clear out of it. I'm going to have an entire inventory full of dirt by the time we're done here. Come on. Okay. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks up. So now there's 12 blocks of space underneath this last one. So now we can actually start making the plot size. Oh, honing available. I have to whack it with the hammer. Alright. And we're going to hone durability because we're already at maximum dig efficiency. And if you thought 12 blocks up was going to make this thing good, we're not even halfway done yet. Okay. So now that we've gone 12 blocks up, we need to go... Let's see, we want 3 plots wide, and each plot is 9 by 9. But I also want 2 blocks of movement space between each plot. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it... Ooh. I might only have room for 4 plots? But I need more than 4 plots anyway, so I'm going to have to build it for 9. So... or 8, rather. One, 2, 3, 4... Actually, no. 1, 2... Because I want 2 blocks of space. Right, it's night. And I'm outside of my torch range, so I'm going to need another one of those mega torches. You, sir, are in the way. Gonna need to build up a lot of dirt too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh boy, and then we gotta do that one more time, and then we go out 12. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we go out 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Why'd I plant so many trees out here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just want to check. This is 353, and the other one is at 333. Okay, so we're good. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is going to be a very ambitious project. And it's probably going to be the only thing we'll be building for the next couple of building episodes. Okay, now we're done with one axis. So we're done with one face of the pyramid. Now we need to clear out and build the other 3. The one disadvantage of having instant mine tools is sometimes Minecraft can't keep up. Yeah. Ooh. Wait, what? Oh no, did I do this wrong? Oh, I did it wrong. Yeah, because if I want... I didn't do it too wrong, but I did do it wrong. Because if I want 2 blocks of space in every direction, I don't have that here. So I need to rebuild this, but one further out. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, how ironic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. Okay. And now we have completed our square. Hello, sir. This is going to be a pretty damn big build. It's going to be massive. So I just want to think if I need to make it this big, because I've got 3 plots. I got room for 8 plots. Technically, it's a 3x3 plot size, but I want room in the middle to put stuff like, you know, the thing that we'll actually harvest. And I know some mods have like a auto harvester, but the only one we have is the mechanical harvester from Create. And I could make one massive automatic harvester that harvests everything. But the thing is, because of the way geometry works, where corners are a lot farther from the center of the square than edges, it's going to be awkward, because it's going to need to be a lot longer than it needs to be, and it's going to stick over the side, and it's going to look ugly. So now I need to think about how I'm going to harvest all this stuff, because it's not going to be by hand. It has to be automatic. Got the friggin' flamingo. Let's see. I could do individual harvesters. Each one is on its own harvesting bit. But then that leads to the issue of how do I get all of the resources in one place? Because that's a major thing. Portable storage interface. So if that doesn't stop the contraption, because the thing is, if I stop the contraption and it's like right on top of the crops, it's just going to break the crops, and I don't want that. But if it doesn't break the crops by not stopping the contraption, and I don't think it does, I'd have to test it though, is the thing. How expensive is it to craft? Oh, it's literally just a chute and an andesite casing. Okay, that's super easy. I can test that now. Oh yes, it does not. Because you can see it doesn't like re-render it, so it does not convert it into blocks. That is perfect. That is glorious. Okay, so that'll work, and then we can pipe everything into the center using conveyor belts. So now we got to clear everything between these points. There's something innately satisfying about having to dig up all of the stuff. Like if I just had a super flat world and built it, it wouldn't be nearly as satisfying. I think it's like the same thing that comes from chore games like Power Wash Simulator or House Flipper. Like what you're doing is basically you're just clicking on things to make oh wow, honing already, jeez. Where'd my crafting net? Here it is. to make the bad stuff go away, whether it's dirt or I guess it's dirt in both games, but you're making all the dirt go away, and you're turning what is an unruly mess into clean and orderly, like a normal, I guess, I don't know the word's not coming to me, but you're turning it into something that's pleasant to look at. Like, this already looks pretty satisfying. I've cleared out I've flattened the area, and it's already pretty satisfying. And there's something innately satisfying about that, about having these clean, orderly areas, and there's something especially satisfying about, like, going over an area that isn't clean and orderly and making it clean and orderly. I don't really know if there's, like, an evolutionary reason for that. Like, we enjoy nice and orderly things. Maybe it's because it's easier on our brain to interpret and process. Or maybe it's just a quirk. Because not everything not everything evolution does is actually helpful. I don't know if it's if I had to stake a guess, I'd put my money on it being, like, easier for our brain to process and therefore satisfying. But I'm no evolutionary scientist, and maybe you're one of those people who doesn't even believe in evolution, in which case, more power to you. I disagree, but more power to you. But something innately satisfying about turning a disorderly, awkward, even just a natural landscape, because this is not just disorderly and awkward, it's not random blocks, it is a natural landscape, and turning it into something simple and flat with defined rules, and everything is behaving the way it's supposed to, and everything's all nice and clean and orderly. And there's something satisfying about that I think it's just satisfying the brain and making it, like, not have to think as hard about what it's seeing. But yeah, I don't actually internet surf a lot. Like, my main internet stays are Roblox, Google Drive, which is where I do all my creative writing, and one of the, I forget what it's, like, the Federation site, the Fediverse, one of the sites on the Fediverse. And if you don't know what the Fediverse is, it's basically like a social media site, or it's not a social media site, actually. It's a collection of social media sites, as far as I understand it. I don't know a whole lot about it. I might be dead wrong, but it's a collection of social media sites where the main selling point is, even though they're basically separate sites, your account still transfers between them. So, like, you can make an account on, like, a Star Wars fan website, and then you can use that same account to post on a tabletop memes site, which is where I end up, the tabletop memes site. I used to spend a lot of time on the Reddit tabletop memes, tabletop RPG memes, not memes about tables. That would be weird. Although I do imagine that would be the internet's sense of humor, to make an entire joke subreddit about memes about something completely random like tables. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a table memes subreddit already. And if there isn't, I bet I just created one by saying that, because someone's going to go out and create it. Not that I have a lot of sway. I mean, I have 30 subscribers, and none of them actually watch my videos, because I only get, like, 1 or 2 views on all of my videos at this point. But I don't really care. I'm not doing this for the views. I'm not doing this for the popularity. I'm doing this to hone my creative skills and my diamond shovel, because that needs to be honed a lot. But yeah, I used to be on the Reddit, and then Reddit did that thing where it basically just killed all third-party software. So I stopped using Reddit out of protest. Not that there was a whole lot of interesting stuff going on Reddit anyway. I mean, obviously there's the tabletop memes subreddit, but they ran into their own issues with Reddit, where, like, it's like they tried to enable NSFW content on their subreddit because they wanted to enable people to post some memes that were NSFW, not safe for work, and then like, basically the global Reddit moderators banned, like, all the moderators, and they destroyed the subreddit, kind of. they like banned all the moderators and deleted all the posts that were made in like the last 3 weeks. So now they like hold every single post for review because they don't know what's good, right? Because like basically the reasons the moderators cited was you can't just suddenly mark your community as NSFW. Based on the screenshots I've seen, that was the response that was given from the Reddit moderators, the global ones. And like, how do you not suddenly tick a tick box? How do you not suddenly tick a tick box? It's literally just a tick box. Were they supposed to like announce that they were going NSFW a week in advance or something? I don't know. I don't even visit gaming websites anymore. Like I used to visit Congregate a lot, but then like half the games on Congregate got killed by Flash going down, and that was really unfortunate because a lot of those Flash games were really good. They were really cool because they were just like amateur developers doing stuff, and they got to do what they wanted to do, their unique idea, and it was really cool because it was super accessible. And then it went down, and I get why it went down. I understand it. People have mixed opinions on it, but I understand why, because it was really a major security threat because of the way it worked. It made it really easy to inject malware onto people's computers, and no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't keep up. Because whenever you're talking about like anti-hacking and anti-cheating, whether you're talking about video games or just like normal computers, it's always an arms race. It's a never-ending arms race. But yeah, it was unfortunate. But then also, I don't know if it was related or not. I don't think it was, but Congregate then basically just like shut down. It still exists. The site's still running. They just aren't taking many new. They're barely taking new game suggestions anymore, and they closed down all of their chat forums because they just didn't want to moderate them. And it was really, really funny to me when that was announced because like literally like a week earlier they had added chat stickers that you could like spend money to buy chat stickers or earn them with like slow premium currency trickle kind of thing. And then a week later they announced they were shutting down all group chats. And not all group chats. I think there are still like a couple. The games that are actually run by Congregate, like the ones that Congregate actually created, the Congregate staff, like Animation Throwdown and some other stuff, those still have their dedicated chat rooms. But none of the other chat rooms exist anymore. Which was sad, because I met a couple of friends that way. I'm actually part of a Discord server that was completely made up of people, or almost completely. It was completely made up, then friends were at it, but it started as a way for people who were playing the same game that I was a fan of, like regulars of playing that game, to contact each other. And it's not very active anymore. Do I even need to hone this anymore? It's basically already honed to a fine tune. I can hone for speed or dig tier. I guess I'll hone it for speed. Yeah. So I don't really visit Congregate anymore. There are other sites, like Armor Games and Nitro were some of my favorite haunts when I was younger, but I don't visit those sites anymore. I think they'll also be similarly crippled by the death of Flash. I don't know how they're doing because I haven't been to them in years. Like I was only on Congregate even before Flash went down for years. But yeah. I just don't do it. I don't really know why. I guess those kinds of games aren't the kind of games I'm looking for anymore. Like there are a lot of cool ones that are fun to play once, but if you're looking for like a game to play regularly and dump like a ton of hours into, Flash games generally aren't where it's at. God, already? Jeez. You get one honing progress for every block you break. So because I'm instant breaking blocks, I'm getting hone progress really, really fast. While Flash may be dead, the indie gaming scene definitely isn't, and I appreciate that. There's still a lot of people working with other programs and other coding languages, and that's good. because indie gaming really is a place of passion. Because like even like indie corporations, people who have made a hit game, they have to start doing things to stay afloat. Because the moment you start doing it like as a company instead of as a person, like even if you just stop doing it as a hobby. Anyway, because if you're doing it as like a job where it's the if you're in a position where you can devote full-time work to it, which is basically as a job, you need to make money off of it. And because of that, you need to start doing things that make money. The reason why every indie game suddenly turns into another quote-unquote scummy corporation once they start doing it full-time is because they need to do that to make money. Gaming is not a very profitable industry if you don't know what you're doing. And it's disappointing, it's unfortunate, but there's nothing that can be done about it unless, like, communism or whatever, but, you know, that's got its own problems. But, yeah, it's still nice to see the hobby games, because the hobby games are true passion, whereas everything else is at least tinted by having to eat, having to pay rent next month. And having indie games be as accessible as possible is going to do great things for the scene. Which is why I think that the original Five Nights at Freddy's was one of the best things to happen to the indie gaming industry. Like, even if you think the game itself was lame, and it obviously wasn't like the most engaging game ever. It's basically an auto-scroller. But it was very interesting because it was still fun to play once, and it showed the world that those kinds of games could be successful and could get you at least some attention. And what that meant was it opened the door on a genre that was extremely easy to make. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's the good thing about it, that it was extremely easy to make. Because you don't need to worry about pathfinding, because everything's always on, like, set points. You don't need to worry about player movement, because the player is often stationary or only moves between a few fixed points. You don't need to worry about making these giant environments, because you've only got one room, the entire map itself is very small, and you're only seeing fixed camera angles of it. So you've got, like... You've cut out like 80 to 90% of what makes a game hard to make. Designing the map, making all the players work properly, and you don't have to worry about physics either because the player isn't moving dynamically and nothing's moving dynamically. You don't have to worry about anything getting stuck because it can't get stuck because again it only moves to fixed points. And the AI for the enemies is rudimentary. The game mechanics are simple and basic. And it also leaves open a lot of room to innovate and do your own thing and go as complicated as you want to. But the bar for entry of this genre is very, very low, which means all those people who wanted to make something found a genre that they could make without having to learn advanced pathfinding algorithms, without having to wrestle with game engines that got increasingly unstable as your project got bigger. Unrelated note, I don't think I'm on an unrelated note, I am now starting to consider learning Unreal Engine. Because I tried making something in Unity and it is not going well. Anyway, it made this really, really simple, really, really easy game to make. And if you look on like itch.io and other gaming websites, you'll see that there are literally thousands of games in that genre. They'll be tagged as like Five Nights at Freddy's, but there are thousands. And the original's been out for like a couple of years now, so it's got time to build up all that, but it's because it's so easy to make, and all these people who had like an interesting idea, they were able to get inspired by this game, and not just like inspired in a way like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? Okay, I'm gonna write this down and forget about it for 20 years. in a way of like, hey, I could do that. Like I could actually do that as a person who doesn't know a whole lot about programming. I could make a game like this and it would be up to snuff. And that got people to create and that got them into the gaming industry. And maybe they'll only make that one game, but if it sparks their creative juices and gets them creating, hey, maybe some of those people will go on to pursue higher quality stuff, like more games like um oh my god, what was it? I'm pretty there was like one game guy or company or studio that started off making like basically a FNAF like game, and those are pillagers. And then they moved on to making something else. First pillagers we've seen this entire time. Anyway, FNAF was really, really good for the indie gaming industry because it allowed people who weren't all that confident in their ability to create games to see something that was really easy to do and roll with it. Now I know I'm not technically done with the dirt yet, but I think I've already gone over time basically, so I'm gonna have to end this here. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. We will not be spending the entirety of it mining dirt, hopefully. So see you then.